Okay, for your next skill, you're going to be finding the constant of proportionality, which we've done many times. So here, to show your work, you're going to take your table, you're going to write it down, and find the constant, whether it's dividing with y over x to find the constant proportionality, or multiplying your x value by the constant to find it. It's up to you, but here is technically how your work should look like, where you test out your ratios. You get 4 over 1, and so your constant would be, for example, for this one would be 4. I just want to quickly go over, if you have a fraction as your constant of proportionality, on IXL, they say to write your answer as a whole number or a decimal. But what you could do is also write it as a fraction, because we've been talking about simplifying fractions. So on the bottom here, I shared with you a factor sheet list. This sheet, if you click on the link, will show you all the factors of each number, so it's much easier for you to find the greatest common factor. So if I'm showing my work for a problem just like this one, you will see this on IXL. Y over x is going to be a number that's smaller than 1. So I wrote it down over here. You would write your table, you would set it up as y over x for each one, and you would simplify. So for example, 4/5, if I can't simplify it, because if I look at the factor sheet list, the greatest common factor between 4 and 5 is just 1. If you could tell here, it's literally the only number they have in common is 1, which means I can't simplify that. So if I were to simplify each one, 8 over 10, 12 over 15, 16 over 20, all of them give me 4/5, which means the constant is 4/5. Now, what you also could do, and this is just what I want to emphasize here, you could simplify each fraction, but you also could divide them just as how I was dividing my other ratios. So 8 divided by 2 gives me 4. I could do 4 divided by 5 to see what it would equal. And you already see it in my paper, but if you do 4 divided by 5, that gives you 0.8. If you do 8 divided by 10, that also gives you 0.8. And you'll notice, obviously, they all equal each other, so they all equal 0.8. So you could also put that as your answer. Instead of simplifying the fractions, you could just divide them and see what decimal it gets you, because this makes sense, right? 4/5 would be a number that's less than 1, so 0.8 really does make sense. And so 0.8 could be your constant, or you could put 4/5. Either one is fine.